pleasure to welcome you all to tonight's An Evening of Recognition, hosted by the McPherson College Advancement Office. We are thrilled to be holding this event here in our new on-campus Campus Commons building and the People's Bank and Trust Welcome Center. Tonight is an opportunity to show recognition to some very special members of the McPherson College family. Let's start the recognition with a round of applause for our students from the McPherson College Saxophone Ensemble, who entertained us with their musical prelude tonight. Gavin, Fabian, Andrew, and Alex, we're going to miss you. You've done a great job performing at this event in the past. If you're living in or around McPherson, they will be performing their year-end concert next Wednesday, Brown Auditorium in the evening, and then you can catch them at the car show next Saturday as well here on campus. So thank you, gentlemen. You can enjoy other special members from the McPherson College family are here tonight. We want to recognize them as well. Would the following groups please stand to be recognized? Current MC faculty and staff, and our emeriti faculty and retirees. Please stand. Current and past Board of Trustees, please stand. Current and former Alumni Board of Directors, please stand. And a special thank you to two of our Alumni Board members, Casey Smith and Rebecca Retzel, for checking in our guests tonight. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate all the ways that you support McPherson College and share your talents with us. After dinner, we'll be recognizing the following individuals and groups. 4 distinguished alumni receiving a citation of merit. Existing new and deceased Heritage Roll of Honor members. And donors to the President's Giving Club during the 24-25 fiscal year. Now, before we begin dinner, I'd like to invite Dr. Kirk McGregor, Professor of Philosophy and Religion at McPherson College, to provide our invocation. Kirk is the author of 9 books, and he was named the 2017-2018 McPherson College Professor of the Year. Following his invocation, you may begin eating your salads, and then we will serve the main course thereafter. Kirk?
Please join with me in a word of prayer. All gracious and all loving God, we gather tonight aware of the many blessings you have given us in our beloved institution, McPherson College. We thank you for the gifts of those here tonight, our McPherson College family, that make possible our mission of developing whole persons through scholarship, participation, and service. We are reminded that you, as the source of all truth, call each one of us to live out that mission. We thank you for the generosity of our donors and their heart for our mission. We ask for your protection and blessing upon them and their families. Bless the food that we are about to receive and those that prepare it. May we be nourished to serve as light and life to everyone we meet, knowing that it is through your grace and love that we are redeemed. In thanksgiving, we ask this and all things in your name, Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer of all. Amen.
And a big thank you to Benny Lopez and the Sodexo catering team. Thank you for a wonderful meal. Also, thank you to our Bulldog baseball team for helping out tonight. You did a great job tonight. I think we have some members of the volleyball team helping out as well. Thank you. The Citation of Merit. The Alumni Board of Directors Awards Committee meets annually to select McPherson College alumni award recipients. This includes Young Alumni Awards presented at a ceremony during fall homecoming, and the Citation of Merit, which we'll present tonight. It is not an easy decision for the awards committee to select the award recipients each year. While the college has many accomplished alumni among its 9,092 living alums, a Citation of Merit is given to a very small group of distinguished alumni each year. Inside your programs, you will see the selection criteria for the Citation of Merit recipients, along with the list of this year's 4 recipients. To begin, I'd like to invite Elmer Gooding, MC class of 1963, to the stage. Denise McLean, Elmer's daughter, will be presenting.
My name is Denise McLean, and it's my absolute honor to be standing here before you tonight to celebrate someone who has shaped my sister, and so many other people's lives in this world, my father, Elmer Gooding. Dad, I know you'd much rather be sitting there quietly, not having the spotlight on you, because that's the kind of man that you are. But tonight, it's your turn, and it's an honor to be here. So let me tell you about a little bit about this remarkable man. My dad grew up in Tampa, Kansas, the youngest of 5 children. My grandfather operated a produce and egg business, and from a very early age, my dad was right there with him all the time, learning the meaning of hard work, dedication, and showing up. While in high school, he met a very pretty girl named Joyce Winter from Lehigh, Kansas. They fell in love, and after graduation, he made his way to McPherson and became a McPherson College Bulldog. He's often told me how blessed he felt to receive a small academic scholarship to attend McPherson College because his family simply didn't have the means to send him. He was also very thankful that college was close to home, so he could continue to help his dad in the business on weekends. He loved McPherson College because this college opened a door that really changed everything. The impact that McPherson College had on my father is truly immeasurable. I grew up hearing stories about his time here, working as a student assistant, serving in the business office, majoring in business and economics, and building friendships that really lasted a lifetime. And I know some of his dear friends are here tonight, including Paul and Benita Ediger, and also Karen Hope, who's the widow of his beloved roommate. So what a delight that you're here. I know there's also a couple of other friends that are here in the crowd tonight, so thank you for being here. Perhaps the single most pivotal moment of my dad's college years came during his senior year, when his professor and dean, Dr. Wayne Geiser, called him into his office. Dr. Geiser looked at my dad and said, "Elmer, you definitely need to go to graduate school." And my dad replied that he didn't think he could afford to. And Dr. Geiser said, "You can't afford not to go." That one conversation, fueled by the belief of a mentor who saw something in my dad, launched a career that would span decades and touch thousands and thousands of lives. With that encouragement, and with some awesome letters of recommendation from Dr. Geiser and also Dr. Raymond Flory, my dad applied to and was accepted at the University of Kansas, where he earned both his Master's of Science and his PhD in economics. I think it's really special that Dr. Flory's son is here tonight to hear about the impact that he had on my dad, so thank you. So armed with his degrees and his cute bride by his side, my parents headed west to Arizona, where my dad joined Arizona State University as an assistant professor. My sister Carrie and I were born not long after. What followed was a 37-year career that's nothing short of extraordinary. My dad rose through the ranks of the academia and through university-wide administration, serving in various positions from Associate Dean in the College of Business to Vice Provost. And in the spring of 1991, when the College of ASU, the sitting president of ASU had his heart attack, my dad was appointed as acting president of the university. I remember that semester vividly because I was a freshman at ASU at the time. But I got to watch him lead. He always led from a place of quiet strength, lifting others up and staying in the background, even when he was the one carrying the weight. He's the rarest kind of leader, one who makes everyone in the room feel like the most important person in the room. So after serving as acting president, he decided to return to the classroom, and because he genuinely loved teaching. And his very first year, he received an outstanding undergraduate teaching award. And I can personally attest to his gift as a teacher because my friends who had other professors in econ, the night before their test would usually call my dad for a little bit of last-minute tutoring. He always took the call every single time. He retired from Arizona State as an emeritus professor of economics in 2004, but retirement for him looked nothing like slowing down. He went on to serve as a leader on various ASU retirees organizations for an additional 10 years. And during the same season of life, he also devoted himself to caring for my mother, the love of his life, through her battle with breast cancer. And he did so with the same quiet, unwavering faithfulness that he brings to everything. Deep breath, right? Oh, don't do that, that's really gonna make me That's my dad. See, he comes in with the arm when you need it. Through it all, through decades of long hours and high-pressure leadership, my dad has always been at his core a man of deep and abiding faith. He was a devoted member of our church family and still is. First at Beautiful Savior Lutheran Church and then at Gethsemane Lutheran Church, where he served in countless leadership roles, including congregational president and also the chair of the board of elders. His faith wasn't something he just practiced on Sundays. It was the foundation of everything. His character, his decisions, the way he treated people, and the way that he led. That faith also fueled a remarkable commitment to Christian higher education. Having experienced firsthand the transforming power of a faith-rooted college right here in McPherson, my dad devoted 18 years to the Concordia University Irvine Board of Directors, serving as chairman for 12 of those years. He also served another 12 years on the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod National Board for Higher Education, 6 years as secretary and 6 years as chair, overseeing Concordia universities across the country. So that 12 years plus 18 years totals 30 incredible years of service to Christian higher education. And with all that my dad did over the years, all the leadership positions that he held and all the volunteering that he did, what I want you to know is my dad was always there, just like he just was. He rarely missed a game for my sister or I or any event. He never missed what mattered. He is, without question, the most devoted and loving father and awesome grandfather to his 7 grandchildren, 2 of which are here tonight. In fact, everyone at my daughter's school knows Papa. They light up because he drives up to the school in his awesome 1966 powder blue convertible Mustang that used to be his brother-in-law's car. And I figured, of course, with the restoration program, I gotta get in a car, right? Every year, Dad looks forward to coming back to Kansas, to his home here, and to McPherson, to visit his many nieces and nephews that he loves so very dearly. And I know he's profoundly moved that so many of you are here in the room tonight. I recently came across a quote that stopped me in my tracks because it really described my dad perfectly. God calls every husband and father to step up and lead his home, not with harshness or distance, but with love that reflects Christ himself. And Ephesians 5:25 says, lead your family with faith. And those words mean be present, be steadfast, and leave a legacy of prayer, tenderness, and strength rooted in the Word of God. Dad, you've done that every single day of your life. Carrie and I are so proud of you. We're so proud to be your daughters. And we are so proud that this place, McPherson College, the place that helped to shape you, is honoring you tonight. So President Snyder, for his exemplary service to profession, community, church, and college, it's my privilege to present Dr. Elmer Gooding, my incredible father, for the Citation of Merit Award.
found, first of all, good friends here, including my roommate that I spent 3 years with, Art Hoke. Many of you know Art, I'm sure. And also Paul Edgar, who was one of my study buddies and helped us encourage each other and get through classes and all of that. And I also am so thankful for the professors that were here that helped to guide my life. Actually, if they'd had the auto restoration program back at the time I was coming through, I might have had a totally different life because I love my cars. But anyway, I really appreciated all the guidance that I got from them. Professor Flory, Professor Olson, and again, one that was probably my mentor of all of them was Professor Dean Geiser, or Wayne Geiser, who was dean at the time. And as my daughter related to you, he's the one that encouraged me to go on to graduate school. But I always had a soft heart in my life, in my mind, for Christian higher education because of the foundation that I got here. So that's what shaped my life, and I'm thank God that it did, because it gave me a chance. Even though I spent my life in public higher education, I always had that spot in my heart for Christian higher education, and I'm so glad that God gave me the ability to do some volunteer work in that area as well. I'm also thankful for my family and friends that are here tonight. I just had the opportunity to visit with a couple of you that I hadn't seen for many, many years, and that was a blessing as well. I'm thankful for my family. My granddaughters are here, and my my granddaughter, Denise's daughter, went to Concordia University in Nebraska, and again attended a Christian education institution. So all of that leads me to say, I just thank you so much, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you tonight. And thank you, President Snyder, for this honor. Thank you so much.
Our next Citation of Merit recipients are Craig Little and his wife Joanna Dell Little. Craig is an MC class of 1970. Joanna, class of 1972. Pam Tucker from the class of 1982 and McPherson College Board of Trustees will be presenting.
Good evening, everyone. It has been said that behind every great man, there is a surprised woman. But not in this case. Joanna and Craig's story is definitely a team effort. Tonight, we honor two people who prove that 1 + 1 doesn't just equal 2, it equals communities transformed. Craig is a world-class expert in radiation biology who literally cleans up the earth. Joanna is Joanna is a leadership powerhouse who ensures that we the people means everyone. Joanna grew up on a farm in Nebraska. Her parents didn't go to college. They valued hard work, the church, and education for their kids. As an adult, Joanna surprised her father when she spent all night working very hard to finish a very important grant proposal. He thought the point of getting a degree was that she would never have to work that hard. When Joanna and her siblings, Judy and Dan, were young, Judy and Dan? Yeah. Their parents paid them each $600 a year, tax deductible, to work on the farm. That $600 had to cover all of Joanna's life expenses for the year: shoes, clothes, school supplies, and anything else that she needed. It's no surprise that learning to budget that early prepared her for the important fiscal responsibilities of nonprofit leadership. Meanwhile, in Wichita, a young Craig was learning the hardest lesson in resilience, stepping up as the oldest of 4 boys after the sudden loss of his father. He was just 14. The two arrived at McPherson College looking for a future, and they found each other. Craig was 2 years ahead of Joanna, and in a move he calls his biggest win, he swept her away to Colorado to continue their educations. For years, Craig has joked about being Mr. Joanna Little. And when you look at her resume, you can see why. Joanna doesn't just sell real estate or write grant proposals. She is a leader who envisions what should be, then manifests that into reality by focused intention and purposeful action. She once told a couple who was exhausted after months of house hunting and was ready to sign a contract for any house that was good enough. "No," Joanna said, "we will find the right house." The very next day they did. When Joanna submitted the giant job training grant proposal for the Women's Resource Center that I mentioned earlier, an experienced woman from a larger competing organization told her that Joanna's company would never get that grant. Joanna didn't get mad. She got the grant. And then, this is the really important part, in a class act move characteristic of Joanna, she hired that woman to help her grow the program using those funds. She knew winning was not the goal was to make the biggest impact. Joanna's mantra is simple: a world that works for everyone. Joanna, you don't just imagine a better world, you build it. And then we have Craig. Craig? I know you're standing there wondering how you got here and feeling like an imposter. Well, I'm going to tell you how you got here.
You're a name out of a hat.
I'm going to tell you how. You spent your career working to keep people safe by predicting how pollutants move through the environment. You've served as a guest scientist for the German government. You led a campus for Oak Ridge National Labs, and even saved the jobs of 65 geologists after the Exxon layoffs in the early 80s. But my favorite is the hunt for uranium mine tailings. Craig is the man who can find radioactive building foundations. Tailings are a waste product of uranium mining that is like sand. And before it was regulated or known to be harmful, it was sold as construction filler. It was radioactive. If you want the full story, you have to ask him later. It is a great story. It involved a lot of creativity, technical equipment, a van, and charming women. Just to be clear, the charming women were part of the team, and it was a quick lesson to learn that the women were much more successful in approaching property owners to let them know they had radiation on their property than the men were. For the past 20 years, Craig has been running his company, Two Lines, which teaches radiation safety and conducts safety audits and risk analyses. Craig's advice to others is simple, yet profound. Always say yes. It's a philosophy that has led him to be an editor, a professor, a business owner, and a world traveler. His only regret is not saying yes to the McPherson College Choir when he was a student. Yeah. Joanna and Craig have been married for 55 years. What makes their relationship work? Joanna says she has permanent handprints on her back from Craig pushing her forward. Craig says his greatest accomplishment is, well, being married to Joanna for 55 years. So what is their secret? They talk. They talk about everything. They talk about their days, their dreams, and their vision boards, where goals and aspirations are actually written down and their dreams are realized together. They live out the values of Micah 6, verse 8, to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Whether it's Joanna advocating for the community food bank on Facebook or Craig volunteering for the uninsured, their lives are a tutorial in giving back. And they're not done. Joanna continues to work for the Community Food Bank and the Hilltop Women's Resource Center, and she's working on her vision of doing something new to actively promote justice for all. She will make that vision a reality. Craig continues editing, serving on boards, and advising federal agencies regarding radiation protection legislation. Together they're planning their next trip to Mongolia because they love learning and adventure. Craig and Joanna, your lives don't just tell a story of success, they define success in service to others. Yours is a legacy worth celebrating. Craig and Joanna are two people who represent the very best of McPherson College. They are scholars, teachers, drivers of change, and dear friends who care about others and the world. President Snyder, for their exemplary service to their professions, community, church, and college, it is my privilege to present Craig and Joanna Little for the Citation of Merit.
Thank you all for being here tonight. Pam, that was amazing. I had no idea that I did that much in my lifetime. But thank you so much for your efforts. Thank you, Dr. Schneider, for the Certificate of Merit. Craig will say that the proudest and best thing he ever did when he was on the search committee that hired Michael was to call him up and bring him over to a motel room and say, here, sign this contract. Michael is 34 years old, and look what he's done. We're here tonight. So I did say to Craig, I thought you had to be old to get a lifetime achievement award. And then I looked at him and thought, oh yeah, well maybe. So McPherson was really the launch pad for me to build my confidence. I had a wonderful English teacher in high school who taught me to write. But when I came to McPherson, I found my voice. And mostly due to a required speech class. And I took it here instead of Colorado State because I thought it'd be easier. Well, that was a myth. And just to briefly say, we have two children, Jake and Shay. Jake and his wife Dana, and Shay and her husband Jeff, and 3 darling grandchildren. Today is Jake's 49th birthday. I'm glad I'm here rather than where I was 49 years ago. I have something in our bathroom. It's a framed little saying, I think it's by Winston Churchill. It says, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. And Craig and I have always felt so good about giving our time, energy, and financial resources to McPherson College. It was crucial to us in our development as people. I also would like to say that there's another, Isaac Newton. I saw it on the Colorado State University campus, and I'm sure some of you have heard it. I'll probably butcher it, but if I have seen a long ways, and if I have been successful, it's because of the shoulders I have stood on. Both my forefathers, my family, my friends, we have had support throughout our whole life. And that whole saying about just put your boots on and get to work, sometimes we have to have help putting our boots on. And Craig and I have definitely had that help. Thank you.
We could not in any way decide who was going to speak and who wasn't. It's not possible. 2 words are in my mind tonight. They are gratitude and humility. First of all, I'm grateful for Joanna for being here and there and everywhere with me all these years and going forward. And to our children, Jake and Shay, that she mentioned, and their families for teaching us lessons about love and heartache. Thanks to our family members who are here tonight for taking the trouble to be here. I'm sure with a pain at times to get here. I'm also thankful to the Alumni Board for this award and the people who make this place possible. Students, staff, faculty, administrators, trustees, and donors. At McPherson College, I was able to do things that might not have been possible at other institutions. For example, when I was a sophomore, an alumnus named Dr. Donna Subi, who I believe was faculty at the University of Iowa, came to campus for a week to present a series of 11 seminars, 1-hour seminars in 1 week. If you went to all of them, you got an hour credit. I needed that hour. So I attended and I found it interesting. A few weeks later, I asked Dr. DeCourcy if I could do a radiation study of some kind. I had no idea. He said, well, we've got a Geiger counter here somewhere, but I'll have to find it and then you'll have to plateau it. Whatever that meant. But I learned what it was. He ordered me some radioactive phosphorus, and I did a nutrient cycling study with an aquarium with guppies and snails and algae. And yes, some guppies and snails died to support my research. Sometime after that, I contacted Leslie Fraley, who was a physics professor here at McPherson. I never had a class from him. He was on a sabbatical at Colorado State University to finish his doctorate. He encouraged Joanna and me, notice the order of that, to come and visit, where I got to meet faculty, learn their curriculum, applied, it was ultimately accepted, and started a career. 3 people, McPherson people, who hardly knew me or didn't know me at all. Donna Subi, Dr. DeCourcy, and Les Fraley. That would not have happened in very many places. Regarding humility, I should say, I have a little bit of imposter syndrome. I am real proud of the fact I didn't get dinner on my shirt tonight. That part. But I am no fabulous researcher. I've published, but I haven't published reams of things. I'm not a wonderful teacher or professor in the mold of the ones that I knew here, Drs. Burkholder, Eichenberry, and DeCourcy, as well as other faculty here who had other classes from. I heard a phrase not too long ago that meant a lot to me. It said, nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something. I've done something. Not enough, not as well as it could be done probably, but something. But we, Joanna and I, don't do things to get awards. We do them to help. And if that's what brought this recognition forward tonight, I'm doubly proud to receive it. And it's kind of fun, actually, too. Finally, a shout out to Pam, my former trustee colleague. When I called her and asked her if she would introduce us tonight, she was driving home in Austin, Texas, and took the phone in her car, and she was excited. And she immediately said yes. But some weeks, I think it was weeks later, she said, you know, I know you pretty well, but I don't really know Joanna. So I'm going to fly out there and spend a weekend with you. Okay. She was going to interview us. Well, we talked and talked and talked, and she interviewed some of the people sitting back at that table back there. It was a wonderful weekend. We became fast friends, and I was relieved that when she left for the airport, I hugged her and told her it had been a wonderful weekend, and she agreed again to do the introduction. And just as I thought, we had been, I've lost my word here. We've been auditioning all weekend, but we didn't fail. And I'm happy we didn't. She was truly committed to doing a good job on the task, and she certainly has. So thank you to the board, the trustees, the alumni board, and everyone involved here. And I would say, let's just carry it forward. Thank you.
I now invite our final Citation of Merit recipient, Pamela Higgins, MC class of 1983, to the stage. Charlotte Hayes Lowen, MC class of 1980, will be presenting.
Good evening. McPherson College can thank Kirk Higgins, Pam's older brother and a graduate of the class of 1980, for her choice to become a Bulldog. Many of us here remember Kirk. There is a lab in Melhorn Hall dedicated to his memory. North Manchester, Indiana can in part thank Guilford Eikenberry for Pam's 35 years of service as a family practitioner in their community. Pam told Guilford she wanted to do something in the field of science, and he said, "Have you ever considered going into medicine?" Pam's family, spouse Steve, and children Emma, Adeline, and Thomas, can thank Jan Van Asselt. Jan was Pam's freshman English professor. Pam told Jan she wanted to study abroad, probably in Germany, but didn't know German. Jan said, "We can fix that." Pam met Steve while they were both in the Brethren College's abroad program in Marburg. I can thank Pam for maybe saving my life when we were both involved in a little jumping on a moving train incident in Europe in the folly of her youth. An important aspect of a liberal arts education, like the kind we received at McPherson College, is related to character development. I can review the various ways Pam has impacted her community over the years, whether that be through her medical clinic, the Community Foundation of Wabash County, or the Manchester Church of the Brethren. But it is her character traits that has led to these contributions, which are what is most important. With Pam, I think what stands out is her dedication, compassion, and patience. Rabbi Abraham Heschel said, "A test of a people is how it behaves toward the old. The affection and care for the old, the incurable and the helpless, are the true gold mines of a culture. Pam has been the medical director at Timbercrest, which is the North Manchester equivalent of the Cedars here in McPherson, for almost 30 years. Her longtime friend and office nurse, Debbie Chinworth, said, Pam loves her geriatric patients, taking all the time needed to listen to their stories. What I observed most, though, was the respect she has for the least of these. Pam is aware of those on the fringe. Julie Garber is another friend who has also worked with Pam through the Community Foundation of Wabash County. Pam has been on the foundation board and has assisted with grants and Lilly scholarships to help ensure the foundation's position as a leader in innovation and community initiatives in the North Manchester area. Julie says, no one who suffers physically or spiritually and who spends an hour with Pam Higgins goes away in despair. They leave knowing someone heard them and didn't condemn them. When I reached out to Julie and Debbie, they mentioned how they treasure Pam as a friend, as do I. They both commented on walking with her on the Camino de Santiago in Spain. Debbie said, Pam is one of those walkers who just puts her head down and gets it done. No matter the path surface, the weather conditions, the food or housing options. She puts her head down and gets it done. There's a lot to be said for that. North Manchester is a small town. Steve, her spouse, retired several years ago from the chair of the Philosophy and Religion Department at Manchester University. He said that when people found out he was retiring, their first question was whether Pam was retiring. When they found out she wasn't, he said they seemed to lose interest in what his retirement plans might be. Now maybe that's more because folks don't know what philosophers actually do, but I suspect it's also a reflection of how beloved Pam is in the community. In closing, there's one more character trait that I would like to mention, and that is humility. Pam and I have had several conversations around this award, and she has more than once said, with genuine puzzlement, I don't know why I would be picked. Believe me, my dear friend, it's well received and well deserved. President Schneider, for her exemplary service to profession, community, church, and college, it's my privilege to present Pam Higgins for the Citation of Merit Award.
Charlotte, thanks for the kind words. President Schneider, the alumni, board of trustees, or the board of trustees for this honor. Thanks to all of you for being here, family and friends. I appreciate that. 3 quick stories. The first time I saw McPherson was after midnight on a sweltering August night. In retrospect, it's pretty clear I didn't know what to expect since I was wearing a down jacket, more appropriate for cool northern Wyoming where I'd been working than humid central Kansas where I'd be living. And I kept mistaking Milo for corn. My older brother Kirk, already a student on campus, kept reassuring me these people here are very nice and many of them are related. Several years ago, I attended the Science Symposium honoring West DeCourcy, John Burkholder, and Guilford Eichenberg. The bulletin from that event had a lovely picture of the three of them that I cut out and pinned to the bulletin board in my office. It reminds me daily of three influential mentors who dedicated their lives to serving others and how I might aspire to do the same. Sunday, we leave for Germany, if weather holds, and there's fuel, to attend the wedding of Leonard, a young man who lived with us as an exchange student in high school. Our families met in 2005 when he and our son Thomas were schoolmates while our family lived in Marburg during one of my husband's sabbaticals. Steve and I met in Marburg as exchange students with BCA. Jan Van Assel had talked me into studying abroad, though I didn't speak that foreign language, with the exception, for quirky reasons, of the word Eichhörnchen, which means squirrel. Not a particularly useful word to know. You might think it was brave of me to give that experiment a shot, but really I think it was more a reflection of Jan, of this guy who believed in potential and helped find opportunities for his students. The work of this college matters. The work of this college community matters. It certainly did for me, and I'm grateful for that.
The Heritage Roll of Honor. The Heritage Roll of Honor was established to recognize those who shared their intention to leave an estate gift to McPherson College. The college benefits greatly from estate gifts made by alumni and friends. Previous estate gifts, along with future estate gift commitments, continue to have a transformational impact on McPherson College. Listed on the insert in your programs are the names of the nearly 200 current and recently deceased Heritage Roll of Honor households. At this time, will all the Heritage Roll of Honor members please stand so we may recognize the commitments you have made to the future of McPherson College. There were 4 new Heritage Roll of Honor members who made estate gift commitments since an evening of recognition last year. Would those new members please come forward to be recognized? Our first new Heritage Roll of Honor members are Frank and Nella Anderson. I had the pleasure of meeting the Andersons last year when they came from Houston to McPherson for our auto restoration car show. They also brought with them a gift, a 1951 Cadillac for the auto restoration program. Since then, they have donated another vehicle, a 66 Chevy pickup, and they took action to include McPherson College in their estate. Frank is a retired airport operations manager and aircraft rescue firefighter. Nella is a retired college professor in teacher education. In referring to the impact Frank and Nella would like their estate gift to have at MC, they said, Frank was mentored and supported in high school by his auto mechanics teacher and school counselor to finish high school, since he had lived on his own since the age of 16. Those 2 people positively impacted his life forever. We want our estate gift to positively impact students and their lives to make a lasting difference into their adulthood, like others did for Frank. In essence, paying it forward. Frank and Nella, thank you for your generous estate gift commitment to McPherson College. Sheila Garrison. Sheila and her husband Larry were married for 52 years before his passing last year. They met at Central Missouri State University. Sheila earned degrees in social sciences and law, and also a Master of Fine Arts in acting. Her career included teaching and directing, and becoming the director of the Warner Theater Center for the Arts in Connecticut. Larry had a 30-year tenure as a professor in the University of Missouri Kansas City Accounting Department, earning many awards for his teaching and his leadership. Sheila and Larry enjoyed watching vintage sports car races together. Hence, that led them to discovering McPherson College's auto restoration program. In referring to the impact Sheila would like her and Larry's estate gift to have at MC, she said, "I have always admired the beauty and artistry of the automobile, from the early days of automobile manufacturing and the decades following. I hope the impact of our gift to McPherson College will be to support and expand the automotive restoration department, to train students to restore those beautiful vehicles so others continue to appreciate them as functional machines and also as art." Sheila, thank you for your generous estate gift along with Larry to McPherson College. Medina Hoover Wilson, MC Class of 67 and McPherson College Board of Trustee. Medina was unable to be here tonight, but I want to share about the estate gift she and her late husband Gary committed to McPherson College. Modena graduated in 67, Gary in 66, and they met here at McPherson College. Both became accomplished in their professions. Gary as a teacher, creative writing instructor at Johns Hopkins and also University of Chicago, and a published author. Modena as a medical doctor, faculty member at Johns Hopkins, and chief health director at the American Medical Association. In memory of Gary, Modena and her sons established the Gary D. Wilson Endowed Scholarship in Creative Writing at McPherson College. In referring to the impact the Wilsons want their estate gift to have at MC, they said, "We intend for our estate gift to sustain the McPherson College Writing Center, recognizing that writing is an essential tool for clear communication and far more as well. It also can be an act of creation, of extending empathy to others and inviting it for oneself, of building community among young minds across diverse backgrounds and cultures, and of exploring and contributing to the richness of the world we share." Our sincere appreciation to Gary and Modena for their estate gift commitment to McPherson College. Again, thank you to all our existing Heritage Roll of Honor members and our new members as well. I now invite David Barrett, Senior Advancement Officer for McPherson College, to the stage for a time of remembrance.
At this time, we pay tribute to the Heritage Roll of Honor members that have passed away since we were last together at an evening of recognition. These loved ones were spouses, family members, friends, classmates, and coworkers. Collectively, they lived over 1,200 years of life and contributed 386 years of financial support to McPherson College. These are the images of those members of our MC family that have paid it forward for so many of us. Family members of these special MC Heritage Roll of Honor members were given roses when they arrived this evening. Those roses are a remembrance of your loved one and the special connection they had with McPherson College. At this time, I would like to invite President Schneider to the podium.
Hoffman, Holman, Lichty, France, Smith, and Andes. No, not a law firm, but the leadership of McPherson College in the late 1970s. These were the visionaries and originators of the McPherson College President's Club. Their objective, cultivate a group of every year donors to give at least $1,000 to balance the college's budget. They were successful, not just in reviving the financial results to the McPherson College budget, but in creating a foundation of givers who have played a monumental role in sustaining McPherson College for over 45 years. This is otherwise known as, it began in a van. Today, we are about ready to celebrate the 24th consecutive year that the annual fundraising goals to McPherson College have been reached, contributing to a balanced operating budget for McPherson College. And the single most important part of this is our President's Club donors. President's Club donors make contributions of at least $500 for the McPherson College Fund and/or academic program-specific gifts during each academic year. And in fiscal year 2024-25, a total of 320 President's Club households supported McPherson College. This resulted in $2.25 million in cash contributions. So, Eric Vogel likes an active audience. Could all of our President's Club members please stand? President Club members to recognize one thing, because we started this thing to pay the light bill, and that is no longer the case anymore. We no longer need your charitable donations to pay the light bill. We now use them for campus-wide enhancements for program development. You've heard about our new partnerships with some of our Kansas colleagues in the Regents universities. We have an exclusive partnership with the University of Kansas Medical Center. You probably heard in the news. We've got a partnership with the Wichita State University Barton School of Business, where our students will now be able to begin a MBA program and finish that while they're finishing their undergraduate at the same time. Heard we've started mechanical engineering right on the heels of our automotive restoration program, exercise science, computer science, additional women's sports programs in flag football, bowling, cheer, dance, and stud, along with pep band and a future marching band. And more financial student assistance than ever before, over $19 million this last year in institutional aid. Funding for the Student Debt Project. For 9 years, our homegrown Student Debt Project has reduced debt for our students. Since this program began, we've been able to reduce average debt at graduation per student by $12,000. Your funds helped us provide $400,000 in matching funds. For those of you who are not familiar with this program, it's one of the favorites across campus where students work. Many of them get credit. They get mentorship and basic financial literacy skills, and we match 25% of every dollar that they work towards their student bill. We have a full-time faculty with the highest average salary across Kansas private colleges. Your gifts make that happen. Tonight, I want to express my appreciation on behalf of all the McPherson College community To our President's Club members, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I know many of you are here tonight, have been demonstrating incredible loyalty to McPherson College through your gifts year after year. So there's one of you in particular that I want to recognize. There you are. So, Dr. Bob Wilson. Dr. Bob's here, former board member. Bob, wave for everyone. There he is. Dr. Wilson is one of 10 living original President's Club members from the first President's Associates class of 1980, 46 years ago. Never missed a year. Bob, thank you for your gifts to McPherson College. I also want to recognize some of our newest President's Club donors who are here tonight. We welcome 85 new households in the 2024-25, and some of those donors are here tonight. So I want to recognize them. Roger and Kathy Swanson, Herb Smith, Greg Stockstill, Mark Lynch, Itof and Al Awar. Congratulations and thank you for joining our President's Club this evening. So as we close this evening, I want to recognize the advancement staff for hosting us. Kendra Flory, thank you Kendra. David Barrett, thank you Dave, Mr. McPherson College. Lindsay Berge, Billy Jamison, our alumni director. Trey Montoy, Amy, is Amy here? Amy, thank you Amy. And of course, our one and only Eric Vogel. Let's give them one more round of applause. So, higher education, if you read about what we do, is kind of a grind lately. The financial market is bearish in our sector, making it sometimes hard to secure a loan, particularly for the small privates. The media can't wait for one of us to go out of business, right? We hear about that like it's like one a month. And within the industry, we are really hung up on this enrollment cliff, the idea that there just aren't enough 18-year-olds in the market. And we are not immune to that. But I would argue that we are very different. So before I send you out into the world, I want to give you a little bit of hope and maybe a little bit of excitement for what's coming in the future. So 3 things. First, in the face of all this, our enrollment will be up next year. We'll be pretty close to 1,000 students very soon. And although there is a cliff, I can see a campus with over 1,500 students. That's one. 2, we have people like you, and I'm going to tell you, I could tell you a story about every single person up on that screen tonight. It's you, the longtime folks who supported us over the last decade. Craig and Joe, Elmer, Pamela, Bob, all of you. You were supportive before anyone else. All those years showing up. Elmer never missed a meeting in Arizona. If we were in Arizona, Elmer was going to be there too. And as I think about this, they're all loyal donors, and there's so many more people who are coming on board, becoming our friends. Many because they're our graduates, that's obvious. Some because they love cars. And there's others because we're different. While others in our industry are just trying to make it, McPherson College is literally changing higher education. And that makes me proud, and I think that makes all of you proud as well. And so lastly, our secret weapon, it's the people that get things done around here. And it's the people who support us and advise us. We have people who love to work here, people who have created the bedrock for our destination learning community, people who love developing students, these whole persons that are described in our mission. People who are persistent in tackling the challenges that come at us internally and externally. And people who are bold enough to dream big. So as we celebrate tonight and honor folks, be good to end with an advancement story, I think. So as I look back in 2012, we had this idea that given our donor base and some of the folks we knew, that we ought to build a plan for $1 billion endowment. And I'm happy the Hoffmans are here today to hear this. So I had this idea, but I hadn't really told anybody yet. Yeah, not even the board. And so I was at a time after your dad stopped driving every once in a while. When your mom wasn't available, I grabbed Paul Hoffman, Dr. Paul Hoffman. He was the president here for a couple of decades, beloved by many of us in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. We would hang out. I'd take him home from campus and bring him home. So we had coffee, and I was really nervous because I was going to share this idea I had with him. And so we went to coffee. I think we were at the Main Street Deli, and I shared this idea, this vision that I had for $1 billion endowment. And he looked at me and he said, "Go for it." And we talked shop and talked details about donors, and he said, "Where are you at?" And I said, "Well, I think we can at least get 100 million." And we talked about that, and he said, "You need to be honest with people on where you're at. Give them updates, and don't be shy to share what you're doing." And I remember it was 2012, after it was maybe a couple months after we had coffee, we had this event, and we had just kind of soft launched this idea of building a plan to build $1 billion endowment. And so I shared that, and I had to tell them where we were at. And it's always hard to start. And so I got up in front of the crowd and I said, "And we've raised $25 million. And it was a start. It was a start. And then many of you were there in July 2023 when we successfully met the workholder match, and we announced that we had raised $1.59 billion in estate commitments to McPherson College. And as of last week, we're up just over $1.7 billion. The work never stops. And you all are a part of building a bridge to that endowment. The work that we do here every day. It is hard to be a small college, but it is good to be McPherson College. It is good to be McPherson College. And I want to thank you for the role that you play in all the good work that we do at McPherson College. Thank you. It is a great day to be a Bulldog.